Miami absolutely loaded up during the 2024 transfer portal cycle, and they added so many starting caliber players to their roster, it's easy to see why many people view them as the favorite in the ACC. Their biggest move came at the quarterback position. Former Washington State quarterback Camward had initially declared for the 2024 NFL Draft, but at the last minute pulled his name out of the race and decided to transfer to the Miami Hurricanes. One of the most intriguing quarterbacks in college football this year, who has a wide range of outcomes. Where does he ultimately get selected in the 2025 NFL Draft? That is what we will be going over in today's video. Now, admittedly, this is a script I wrote for the 2024 draft, and I kid you not, the real ones will know, I uploaded this video initially. Camward transferred literally 20 minutes after I uploaded this video, but I still had the script saved in a document, so we're going with it again because nothing has changed. Ward is a super intriguing quarterback and has real QB1 upside, so what areas does he need to improve to get to that QB1 spot? That's the question we'll be answering. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon, where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my draft guide, player evaluations, interviews, and much, much more. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of Cam Ward and which players you want to see me break down next. And without further ado, let's get into it. Ward started his collegiate career at Incarnate Word. While he was pretty productive there, he ended up transferring to a better level of competition to Washington State, where he has played the last couple of seasons. In 2022, Ward had 3,228 yards and 23 touchdowns with 9 interceptions and a 64.1% completion. 2023, he was slightly better, but he had nearly identical numbers on the year. He had 3,723 yards, 25 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and a 66.7% completion percentage. He has super high expectations for Miami this year, and if he has some big numbers, he's one of the early favorites to win the Heisman early on. The first thing that is going to stick out with Ward is his athleticism. Ward does an excellent job of extending plays with his legs while keeping his eyes upfield and making a play. There are so many instances on tape where he is evading pressure, buying time, and he can throw it down the field, or he can turn it into a nice run. Over his last 2 seasons at Washington State, Ward has accumulated 13 rushing touchdowns, and he's very nice on the move. Ward also has a very good arm. He can sling the ball at all 3 levels, and he has a very solid deep ball. His short to intermediate accuracy was something that I was impressed with though. He seemed to be hitting his wide receivers consistently, and he did a good job of fitting the football into tight windows where only his receivers would be able to get it. He is completing passes at a high level, and I was pretty impressed at his accuracy. He loved to work that short to intermediate passing game, and it felt like his decision making at Washington State was very good, and he had a 3.6% turnover worthy play, which is pretty impressive to be honest. Ward is another example of a toolsy quarterback. A quarterback who has all the athletic traits, but is yet to piece it together for one reason or another. And with Ward, there are a few areas that concern me. For one, it is his throwing mechanics. He has a really odd throwing motion where he throws the ball at a bit of a sidearm and it just doesn't look smooth coming off his hand. On top of that, he has some pretty stiff footwork in the pocket from time to time, so his throwing mechanics as a whole are very questionable on tape. Another thing with Ward I noticed was a lot of his passes were behind the line of scrimmage. Washington State ran a lot of screens, so he didn't push the ball down the field the way I would have liked to see him do it. He has the arm there, but I just didn't see them tapping into it the way I think they should have. Lastly, I think Ward does have this tendency to stare down his receivers and will try to force the ball into tight windows from time to time. I would like to see him do a better job at scanning the field and finding the open man, and at Washington State, we really didn't get to see him do that much, so that is an area I'd like to see him improve. In my opinion, I think Ward benefits massively from another year at the collegiate level. Had he gone to the NFL, I think he would have been a day 3 pick, would have gotten stashed away, and really wouldn't have had much chance to make an NFL roster. He is a good quarterback, but there is no way he would have been selected high last year, and in this draft class, if he can work on his game in a more friendly offense, he could easily be a first-round pick. The upside is sky high with Cam Ward. I'm super intrigued to see what he can do for the Canes, but as we enter the season, I have a lot of question marks around him, and he enters the year as my QB6. The upside is certainly there, but he has to clean up some of his mechanics and inconsistencies in his game if he is going to be an elite NFL quarterback. I think Ward would benefit most from playing in an RPO-heavy scheme. A scheme with a lot of short passes that will allow him to read the edge defender, and he can decide if he's going to take off with his legs or get the ball out to the flat and let his receiver make a play. He has some of the best short pass accuracy in the class, and I think in an offense with a lot of short screens and crossers, with the occasional deep shot, you mix in some play action, I think you're going to get the most out of Cam Ward in that sort of system. As a prospect, Ward reminds me a lot of Malik Willis. While Willis has not had a great NFL career up to this point, both of them entered the draft as extremely raw prospects who were great athletes, and unfortunately Willis hasn't pieced it all together yet. But that's not the comp I landed on. In terms of play style, I see a lot of Jalen Hurts in his game. He makes the right decisions, has the athleticism, is a smart football player who can throw the ball on the run. That's my comp for him. It's a weird mixture of Malik Willis and Jalen Hurts because there are similarities there with both of them. Cam Ward is a toolsy quarterback. He has elite athletic abilities. He has a lot of question marks though. If he has a big year with Miami, he is going to skyrocket up draft boards, but he has a very wide range of outcomes, and ultimately, as things stand today, I believe that Cam Ward will be a day 2 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.